right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Saturday, the 17th of May, and man, we have had some killer events already this month. Our vintage Piedmont tasting last night, absolutely killer. And we got a couple events coming up, some great events, but they're already sold out. Hey, we've already got our 1996 Bordeaux tasting sold out on June 13th. So hey, you know what that means? It's time to sell some wine. And it's summertime. Hey, it's summertime year-round here in South Florida, but man, it is getting hot out there, and I can't think of a better wine to enjoy on a hot summer day than a nice ice-cold bottle of Chablis, or Chablis, as some people would like to say. And, you know, this is a wine that got a bad rap in the 60s and 70s, you know, when we started getting into wine a little bit in this country, and you saw a lot of producers from California producing Chablis. Well, Chablis from California? Wait a minute, we're confused. Isn't Chablis a region in France? Well, hey, you know, some of these self-proclaimed wine cognoscantes of yesterday, you know, thought they knew wine, and Chablis was one of their favorites, but it came from California in a screw-off cap, and if you paid more than $4 a glass for it in a restaurant, you were being hustled by the waiter. And hey, Chablis is one of the world's greatest wine-producing regions, and that's how the French label their wine, by the region where the wine comes from. We label it by the varietal. It makes up the majority of the blend here in this country, so Chablis is nothing more than Chardonnay, and Chablis is a region that is about equidistant between Champagne and the rest of Burgundy. Although it's considered the northernmost appellation in Burgundy, it's about as close to the Côte, like I mentioned before, as it is to Champagne. And the terroir there, this Kimmeridgian limestone chalk they have, is very similar to what they have in Champagne. Well, you know, the 50s, they had a devastating frost, and of course, economic times after the Second World War. They had a really hard time here. A lot of the vines weren't replanted until the 70s and 80s, and then you saw the quality revolution, which happened everywhere in the world. Temperature-controlled fermentation, and some great producers, people moving in, like William Fevre, one of our top sellers here in the store, when you had the Royaux family invest in this firm and really bring it back up to the top level that it was in years past. You're starting to see some great things coming out of Chablis today. And hey, we've got an incredible collection of Chablis here in the store. The last 4 vintages have been outstanding: 2009, 10, 11, and 12. 13s haven't come out yet, but 13 looks like it could be good as well. We've got Ravenot, some of the hardest wines to find. This is a Côte wine from Chablis. We get 6 bottles a year of some of their different Premier and Grand Crus wines, and we even have some 2010s left. For me, this is the best vintage of the last 4, and Chablis in a vintage like 2010, you can keep 3, 5, 10 years or more in your cellar. It's one of the longest lived of all the white wines. Hey, this little Loupe Cholet Vaucopin Premier Cru, what a killer little value. For $31.50, you get Premier Cru White Burgundy from a great vintage. And this is located just next to the Blanc Grand Cru, and you get that lovely seashell-like minerality, lemon drop candy fruit, really lovely concentration in the bouquet here. Laser-like acidity on the palate, plenty of fruit here to match, and got kind of texture of skim milk, really distinct minerality showing through on the tongue, that chalky and then the tangy lemon-lime citrus, leaving your tongue salivating for food. Hey, some people mistake Chablis for Sauvignon Blanc. Well, you won't mistake the 2002, which we have got this Etienne Dafoe Chablis Premier Cru Côte de Lachey, which is fantastic, a great example of what happens to Chablis after 10 years. And hey, we've got a long list of Chablis here in the store, including a whole section on William Fevre. Check it out. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.